Welcome in today on HHS TV. Why was the parking barricade in the parking lot? We have a promo for HCC's Spring Musical, an interview with the Vice President of Amtrak, as well as a whole lot more. That's all right now, live from the Harriton High School television studio in Rosemont, Pennsylvania. This is the Ram Report.
Hello, I'm Michael DeBaton, filling in for Ben.
Along with his toolkit.
For today's Ram Report. This week brought an unexpected roadblock to Harriton student parking lot. Mrs. Marcuson said that during the afternoon announcements yesterday that the roadblock would be in place forever. But as Ricky found out right after school, this isn't actually true, and it had already been decided to not have the roadblock up today. While the roadblock was only in place for 2 days, the impact it caused is shining a light of traffic issues here at Harriton. Here is Ricky Reports to explain.
Ricky reports here at Harriton High School where for the second morning in a row, the Harriton administration has set up a blockade, severely restricting the flow of traffic here in the student parking lot and causing a massive traffic backlog. After 2 days of intense traffic at Harriton High School, administrators have decided to remove a controversial roadblock, returning traffic back to normal. That, however, doesn't mean there's no traffic. Traffic on a normal day is already bad at Harriton High School. Every day between 7:15 and 7:30, around 500 cars descend on Harriton. Regularly, the line starts a full mile away from school. That's why students were far from happy Wednesday when they discovered it was even longer because of an intentional roadblock set up in the Harriton parking lot.
When I pulled in, the line was way longer than usual and moving really slow.
I just think I have to wake up so much earlier than I would normally, and it's annoying.
The barricade made it really hard to get to the rest of the parking spots, and it caused a lot of traffic.
I think it was kind of dumb because it made more traffic and caused more problems, so.
I was in a huge rush this morning because the line was way longer than usual due to like a blockade at the top of the school, and as soon as they got rid of it, then the line started moving a lot faster, so I was really frustrated.
On Wednesday, the barricade was removed 10 minutes before school started, but on Thursday it stayed up for the duration of the morning rush, causing traffic to extend a full mile and a half away from school. This is a map of the way Harriton's parking lot has worked for years. Green represents parents and blue represents students. What usually happens is both students and parents drive up through the west driveway, take a right. Parents go around so they can drop their students off in front of the school, and students take a left to park in either of these two rows. It provides just enough relief to keep the line moving. Now, with the roadblock in place here, it means that all of these students are now all forced to go in the same line as the parents here. The issue now with everyone in the same line is if just one car stops to drop off a student or park, a ripple effect occurs affecting traffic well outside of the Harriton property. Most students who drive or are driven to school appear to get there just in the nick of time. On the blockade's second day, more than 100 students, 8% of the school's population, were late to school. While they declined to talk on camera, I was told by Harriton's administrators that the problem lies largely with parents, who circumvent the line in multiple ways. Administrators say that the problem is that parents are taking a right to go into the parking lot, and then instead of going straight with the rest of the cars, they're taking a left. That's when they're taking a right where it says do not enter. It's here where parents have been dropping students off instead of waiting in the line. I'm told this creates a dangerous situation for students who have to navigate up to 4 lanes of cars.
I think the real issue is the parents because they don't know how to properly navigate the parking lot in the morning for drop-off and for the afternoon for pickup.
We should not have to suffer for the parents' stupidity.
There has been no recent message to students, teachers, or parents letting them know about the issue. Some students actually say the roadblock makes the situation less safe.
So when kids were coming through the line, parents that were waiting to drop their kids off weren't staying over to the right and letting their kids out. And so like kids trying to get through, like student drivers, could not squeeze by the parents on the right, and like they could easily sideswipe them. I just don't think it was like working really well.
Because of the traffic, inefficiency, and large number of students that were late, administrators decided not to bring back the barricade for Friday. It still doesn't fix the overall traffic problem. The root of the issue is that there are simply too many students who drive or are driven to school, which could be easily solved by more students taking the bus. That is, of course, much easier said than done. Other issues include how some cars don't move for long periods of time, blocking traffic.
There's the same few cars every day parked in the circle of the parking lot, and they park there and wait to drop off their small kids who get on the bus in front of the school. And they wait there in the drop-off part of the line. So then there's the problem where parents are trying to get around there and kids are saying, well, bring me around so I can get to class on time. And it's hard to maneuver through the parking lot if people aren't where they're supposed to be.
Reporting from the Harriton student parking lot for HHS-TV, I am Ricky Reports.
We just received new information. For more, here's Ricky.
I can now also confirm that administration is looking at a variety of options in an attempt to make Harriton's traffic situation more safe and more efficient. They point out that many parents drop off students at the entrance to the bus circle. They say this is a major issue that they're trying to tackle. Also, we just received this new piece of information. Any student who arrived to school yesterday before 7:42 was not given an unexcused tardy. Students who arrived to school late today were also told that because campus aides were directing traffic in the parking lot, that's why it was they were excused. We just also received comment from Mr. Ferguson just now. Let's go to that comment.
To do whatever we need to do to make sure that the parking lot's safe for kids getting dropped off as well as kids coming into park. And we're having lots of issues out there in the parking lot, and we're taking different measures to see what we can do to get people in and out quicker, but in a safe way.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. There is some new information, so we do expect some changes to be coming. Now back to the news desk.
The HTC Spring Musical is coming up. Woman on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown will be March 29th, 30th, and April 1st. They produced the promotional video we are about to play. Following the video, we will go live to Joel Denowitz, a representative for the show, who will give us more information.
We're the cast of Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
You must be from Jupiter, cause you made me feel like
I can't remember what the dates are. March 30th. March 31st. Yeah. And April 1st. That might be April Fool's Day, but it is not a joke.
You're so peculiar, just wanna be on your planet forever now. Forever now. I don't need ground control now.
Women on the Verge.
And I'm burning my bridges. If you walking on my whole life, please say hi to the missus.
So we really just saw how fun HTC is. Tell us how fun this upcoming show is and the plot of this upcoming show.
Okay, so the show is going to be Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. It's super fun because it's usually not done by high schools. It's a hard show to tackle, but we've done a great job. And it's a super fun plot. There's basically a man who has multiple lovers, and they all find out during the show. So there's a lot of chaos, and there's like gazpacho involved. And Joel, do you want to add to that at all?
No, there's a lot of gazpacho. This is definitely something you won't usually see in a high school. So I think this is an awesome opportunity to see your friends who are in the show just go a little out there and see your classmates put on an amazing performance.
And we're expecting to hopefully get nominated for a lot of Cappies. So.
And where can people buy tickets?
So people can buy tickets at Lunch and Learn. We're selling them for $4 compared to the usual $6 at the door. And do you want to say the...
And if you want to buy them online, they're at HarritonTheater.com. And it's going to be on next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's going to be a matinee and a night show.
Yeah, and we hope you all can come. So
please come to the show.
Thank you.
I know I'll be there. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Joel. Of course, Joel was this year's winner of Mr. Harriton, which Ricky hopes to post the video of this weekend. Turning to politics, last week, President Trump's administration presented their budget. It includes a multitude of cuts, including to Amtrak, who under the new plan will not have the money to continue with long-term train service. Our own Max Harris sat down with Amtrak's Vice President of Rail Operations to discuss.
Mr. Jagodinsky, thank you for allowing us to do this interview.
You're welcome.
So, what exactly will this budget proposal do?
Well, the budget proposal that was proposed would eliminate all of Amtrak's long-distance services. So, those are the trains that go more than 750 miles that go throughout the country. Those are the trains that connect the little communities throughout the United States, many of which don't have bus service, many of which don't have air service. So what it would do that was really kind of take apart the whole rail, or the passenger rail network in this country as a whole. It would just basically dismantle that.
What was your first thought when you heard about this budget proposal?
Well, I wasn't surprised, so it was kind of anticipated you could see something like this coming. But once again, I've seen this multiple times before. Multiple administrations have done this. It happened back with the Bush administration back in the early 2000s. It happened back in the Reagan administration, back in the 1980s. So not surprising, and just we need to work through it. That's all.
Ridership among these long-distance trains has been recently down. Why is it important that we continue service with these trains?
Well, it's down, but it's down by just a very little bit. But one of the things the long-distance trains do, Amtrak has the goal of connectivity and mobility for the Americans in the country. And so one of the things it really does knit communities together. All sorts of folks who travel, that's their only way to get around. They can't fly, or there's no air service where they're at. In these little towns across America, there's no bus service. And sometimes, a lot of times, the people just can't drive, or especially even in the winter weather, it becomes very hazardous for some folks to drive out there, but the train can safely get you through. So really, it's really important to keep them, because it does really knit those small town communities in America, knits them all together on those trains.
Do you think that this budget proposal will pass in the end?
I think it's going to be modified. I don't think it's going to, it will not be put forth in its current form. I don't think it's going to happen. There's always changes to budget. If you just look historically in the federal budget process for years, it always changes. There's always changes, different things. Amtrak is just one of many programs that people feel they're important programs, and so, between the administration and Congress and everybody else, there's still a lot of negotiation to be done about it. So I can't imagine it's going to be passed in its current form. There's always changes. There always is.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Max. On Monday, 2 girls living in Lower Merion, aged 13 and 15, were attacked as they walked into Rita's along City Avenue. Their father says they were attacked by a group of 20 teenagers on the Philadelphia side of the street who punched and kicked them and took their iPhones before they were returned. They both suffered from mild concussions. Their father told Philadelphia Magazine that he thinks his kids were targeted because, and we quote, "They were Lower Merion girls and they were carrying iPhones. I think they were probably just jealous." And now we turn live to Nick in the studio with sports.
Hey guys, today I'm going to give some local and Harriton sports updates. Baseball, which Ricky is very excited about this year, has 2 road games to start the season next week, pending weather, of course, at Strathaven Monday and at Radnor Wednesday. The Rams' home opener is Monday, April 4th against Marple Newtown. Boys lacrosse is their home opener this afternoon, 3:45 versus Plymouth Whitemarsh. Rams hope to ride last year's success after a trip to the district playoffs. Girls lacrosse opens versus Central Bucks East tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at home. They also won the district playoffs last year and got to host multiple playoff games, winning one of those. Lots to be excited about this year for girls lacrosse as well. Moving along now, Narberth Rugby plays their regular season opener this Sunday, starting at 2 o'clock at AA Garthwaite Stadium in Conshohocken, PA versus Kutztown. There will be directions sent out in the herd later if you're interested in supporting the Otters. In other sports news, the Harriton track team is now being made to wear yellow pinnies as they run on the road near Harriton. Ricky spoke to a member of the team yesterday.
So a parent called in or emailed in and complained about the fact that they could see the runners running, and it was kind of really dumb, and now we have to wear these, but they don't help because they're not that reflective. And we don't run in the dark, so they don't help. Please.
And this is going to apply to all teams?
When you're off campus. Yeah.
You're off campus.
And if we don't wear them, then we'll get kicked off the team. So we have to pick them before we leave.
Hope to see some fans out supporting all these exciting spring sports to open up the spring sports season. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Nick. Lower Merion graduate Chuck Barris has died at the age of 87. Barris created some of the 1970s most iconic game shows, including The Dating Game, The Newlywed Game, and the show he hosted, The Gong Show, which was America's first America's Got Talent style show.
Science Olympiad competed at regionals recently. For more is Max Harris.
Harriton's chapter of Science Olympiad competed in their regional conference on March 1st. Not only did they receive medals in 21 out of their 23 events, 15 of which were first place medals, but Harriton's chapter placed first overall in the whole region. For more information, I interviewed the 2 student captains of Science Olympiad, Chris Kartsunas and Jordan Shabiro.
21 and 15 gold medals was really the final count, which was pretty awesome. In terms of the past 7 years, we did the best that Harriton has ever done at regional competition, so that's pretty exciting.
So, do you guys think that you'll do this well at states too?
We'll try. We hope so. We certainly hope so. Really talented kids in a really lot of different areas. I don't think we could really point to any one particular thing, but I think the strongest point of Harriton is not just like the fact that we have like a really strong competing 15 that goes in. It's the idea that we have a strong 50 behind them. We have like everyone competing and not working their hardest in the time up into the tournament, and I think that's where we kind of shine brightest.
The Science Olympiad team hopes to do as well as they did at regionals, at states, and at nationals. We all wish the team congratulations and good luck at further conferences.
And that'll be all for today's show. Signing off, this is Sol Kim.
And Michael Zabaton.
From all of us here at HHS TV, thanks for watching The Rain Report.